How is it going, everybody? This is RBT coming at you with Friday Questions and Answers, episode 51. And if you notice that it sounds a little different in this episode, that's because I'm using my blue snowball as my microphone. I have a friend on here, I'm not sure if you watch his videos or not, it's Bud2407, I believe is his channel. He actually has like 11,000 subscribers. He texted me and he was kind of nagging on me because the internal microphone on my laptop is horrible, he says, which I don't think it's that bad, but it's not the greatest quality. And I have a blue snowball, but I've never used it on my laptop just because I didn't think it was really necessary. And it's kind of a weird setup with my blue snowball. It barely is not touching any of the keys, but I have it working. I'm gonna see how it goes and see if you guys like it better. And if you do like it better, I'll start using my blue snowball from now on. I know it's a lot better quality, but I just want to see what you guys think. I know my laptop integrated microphone is louder, but this one is a little bit quieter and clearer. So let me know what you think about the microphone and see if you like it. So that is that. And I do, once again, want to apologize for having another late Friday Questions and Answers episode. But I'm being completely honest with you guys. I have been ridiculously busy. Like, I'm working like 4 jobs now, or 3, really. 3 jobs, I believe. Well, I mean, I work here on YouTube. Is a job for me. I'm making videos. I'm making money from that. That's a job. I actually have another job with an online media network that involves with YouTube, which takes a lot of time, depending on how much effort I put into it. But that's another job, and now I am writing full-time for our newspaper, which is a decent paying job for me, and it's something I like to do, and it's what I kind of want to do as a career. So that's another job, and I broadcast now a lot of sporting events at my college. So that's another job I've had, and I've been ridiculously busy. Like, I'm not joking at all. I've had 3 straight days where I had games to broadcast. I had a game Friday night, didn't get home Friday night until maybe 11 o'clock at night. I was gone from 6 in the morning to 11 at night and was just absolutely dead. Yesterday I had a game about 6 o'clock at night, and today at 1 o'clock I had a game. And then when I get back, I had to write an article for our paper recapping this series, and I had to write an article for our paper recapping National Signing Day. So this is literally the first time I've had a chance to sit down and make a video. So that is that. And after this, I gotta go work out and and I gotta go study for a test tomorrow. So I'm honestly, completely honest, been extremely busy. And this was my busiest week. I have my calendar set out with everything, all my tests for school, everything I have to do, all my broadcasts and everything. I have all that set together, and this is my busiest week of the semester. I only have 1 game this next week to broadcast, and I think I'm gonna have 2 articles. That's if I get this. I'm a sports reporter for our paper. But if I get this promotion, I'll have to do 2 every week. So it's a pay raise, but that is more work. So I might be a little bit busier there. But game-wise and test-wise and everything, this was by far my busiest week. So that should not be an issue. And hopefully I'll be more on time. But I just want to apologize to you guys. I know it's kind of been a recurring thing the last couple weeks. But honestly, not being lazy, I've just been very, very busy with life. And I'm so thirsty. But I have found out these past 3 days that broadcasting games is awesome. Being on the radio, it is amazing. It is so much fun. It's what I have a passion for, and it's so much fun. Even broadcasting softball. Really quick to start off this. Broadcasting softball, we had a 5-game tournament here at University of South Alabama. We hosted a tournament with Syracuse, Austin Peay State, McNeese State, and UAB. UAB was ranked in the top 25 poll, and we were ranked number 20, well, according to whatever poll you look at. But we won every single game, went 5-0. I broadcasted 3 of the games. We outscored our opponents 34-2. We only allowed like 5 hits the whole entire tournament, and we were on a roll. We had a pitcher won 3 games out of the 5 that started 2. She only allowed 2 hits, and both the games combined didn't allow a run. It was just a fantastic performance for our softball team. First time in school history we've gone 5-0 to start off the season. We go to Georgia's Invitational next week, so that's going to be interesting. See how great the softball team can be. But it's a very good team, and it's just a lot of fun. I didn't think I was going to like broadcasting softball, but it was awesome. I mean, I've only broadcasted football. I have my first baseball game next Sunday. But I broadcasted a football game, basketball game, softball, baseball, and they're all awesome. Thought softball wasn't going to be fun to me, but it was. It was really fun. So without further ado, let's get started. And hopefully this microphone isn't too low. I have a weird voice. It's really low, so I'm really hoping this microphone can pick up my voice. It is really low. So hopefully the microphone's picking it up well and you can hear quite well. Because I know when I use the Snowball for commentaries on my desktop, I always have to put the volume up in the editing software so you can hear me better. So let's get into these questions. I uploaded this one last week very, very late, and once again, I really want to apologize for that. So I didn't get as many questions as usual. This blue snowball was in the way. Trying to figure it out. I got to get a better setup, guys. I still got to make a setup video, and I still got to freaking make that review video for that company that was so kind to me their product for free. I was supposed to do that months ago. I really hope they forgive me. I'm gonna make it eventually, but I do have to make a setup video for you guys. But what I do when I do these webcam videos, I have like a rolling chair that I just keep in the middle of my room. Like the back of it's broken off, but I just always keep this laptop on it. I have a school laptop and I have this laptop I just use really for recording videos. And if I'm ever in bed wanting to get on my laptop, I use this one. But this is really just a recording laptop. I have it sitting in the middle of the chair, and I'm sitting in a chair, and this is pretty level. But the lighting's horrible in here. I just really wish I could get a better setup. But eventually I'll work something out. I really do have a good camera, but the reason I don't ever use that good camera is because my upload speed is so horrible that the reason I do it with this is because the quality isn't horrible, but it's not great. And the video file is very, very small compared to what I would use with the other camera. So if I made a 30-minute video with this, it might take, I don't know, an hour to upload. With the good camera I have, if I recorded a 30-minute video, it might take 5 hours, maybe 10 hours to upload. So that's why I use this, and especially for videos that are time related, like if a game is over, I want to come out to the recap real quick. That's why I use this, so I can have it out as fast as possible. And if my upload speed ever changes, my network provider does something to make it better, I will come at you with better quality videos, because I would love to. It's just my internet speed really just limits me to what I can do, which really sucks, because I want to have better quality videos, help gain a better audience, which would help if I had better quality videos, but I'm limited to what I can do and have to work with what I have. So, what is this, 5 minutes in, I haven't even answered a question yet. Wow, 8 minutes in and I haven't even answered a question yet. So I would like to apologize for that too, man. I'm not on my ball today. Not on my ball today? What the frick was that? Not on the ball today. I haven't been for this series the last couple weeks. So without further ado, 8 minutes in, let's get into this question and answers. Alright, first question. Dalton Sports Fan asks, who do you think will be the first 5 players drafted in the NFL, and do you think Johnny Football should go number 1 based on the latest mock draft? The first 5 players, I believe, if you watch my mock draft, which is uploaded on my channel, if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. I want that to give me some audience, but first 5 players I had taken is Teddy Bridgewater, Jadeveon Clowney, Johnny Manziel, believe Blake no, okay, my bad. It's Teddy Bridgewater, Jadeveon Clowney, Blake Bortles, Johnny Manziel, and Jake Matthews. That's my first 5 players picked in the draft. It took me a minute. And do I think Johnny Manziel should go number 1? The reason I don't think so is I think he's going to be a solid player, but that's just an opinion. He might be a bust. I think the biggest problem surrounding him is I think the turnover rate that increased from his freshman and sophomore season is kind of alarming, and he has durability issues. Not because he was injured. He was really never injured in college. He was maybe banged up a couple times, but it's a different game in the NFL, and he doesn't really have the frame. But we'll just have to see. But I would just not risk a number 1 pick on Johnny Manziel. I really believe Teddy Bridgewater is the best quarterback. I really don't understand how some people can disagree. I've been a Teddy Bridgewater fan forever, and I think he's just amazing. So if I was an NFL GM of the Houston Texans, I would be safe and pick Teddy Bridgewater as the number 1 pick. And the reason I have Blake Bortles at 3 instead of Johnny Manziel is not because I think Blake Bortles is better. It's just because the reports that are coming out have Blake Bortles number 3, and obviously there's something there. That there's some reason they're putting Blake Bortles there. So, but if Blake Bortles does get picked by the Jaguars, I don't think Johnny Manziel goes any farther drops any farther than 4 to the Browns. I think the Browns would love to snag up Johnny Manziel. And I wish something would happen. I wish he would fall all the way to number 11 to the Titans, but that's not going to happen. If he fell all the way to the Titans, I'd be the happiest man in the world. And maybe the Titans can trade up to get him, because I know the Rams are probably looking to trade away the number 2 pick and trade down. So the Titans could trade away Jake Locker. Trade away Jake Locker, Kenny Britt, and Chris Johnson, and maybe their first-round pick, and trade up. I would be happy. I would be very happy. And that'd be a decent trade. It's an average receiver, a quarterback that has potential but just been injured too much, and a running back that just costs too much money but is still productive, and their first-round pick. So I think that would be a solid trade. It'd take away a lot of salary cap, too, for the Titans. That's crazy. That'll be 3 first-round picks traded in that deal if that would happen, but it's just not. But that's the first question. I talk too much. Jackson Bear 1. I could possibly go to a Tennessee home game in 2014. Which do you think would be better to attend? Tennessee versus Florida or Tennessee versus Alabama? I definitely would think Tennessee versus Alabama. I think Florida will be improved from a season ago, but I don't think they're going to be that much better. But I think Florida will make a bowl game next season. But, I mean, if you're looking for a competitive game, maybe Tennessee-Florida, but I think Alabama would definitely be the better matchup than Florida. But we'll just have to see. Tennessee might be completely improved from a season ago, depending how the quarterback situation is. I mean, that could be a competitive game, Tennessee versus Alabama. But the better quality, I'd say Tennessee versus Alabama. But as of right now, the more competitive matchup, I would say probably Tennessee-Florida. But if I was you, definitely Tennessee-Alabama. All right, Mega UGA Dogs. Based on Nick Saban's success in revenge games, do you think Alabama will beat Auburn in Bryant-Denny Stadium? I mean, yeah, I think so. I mean, if you asked me this question right after the Iron Bowl, I would have said yeah. But I do. I mean, obviously, I have a little bias there. But I really think we do. I think we rebound. I think Jacob Coker's going to be a very solid quarterback. I think our defense is going to be okay. I think corners are going to be better. I think the one drop-off we might see is the safety position. Hopefully a leader will step up. But I think we'll be okay. I think Trey Mason is going to be a big loss for Auburn, even though I think they'll be okay at the running back position. I think they'll have a lot more balance at running back, but not that one bruiser like Trey Mason was. And they lose a good bit off of defense, a good lineman at left tackle. So we'll just have to see how they can do. But I think Auburn will be fine. But I think we'll be much improved. And at Bryant-Denny Stadium, I think we should get the victory this season. And yeah, that's a good point too. You bring up with Nick Saban's success in revenge games. I don't think he's lost to a team twice in a row since he's been at Alabama, which is pretty. I could be wrong, but I think so. That's pretty impressive. Jackson Bear 1 says, also, can you do a 2014 football schedule video for the Tennessee Vols? Yes, I am. I actually responded to his comment and said I will do. I already had planned. I'll tell you real quick. The reason I'm just doing that is because I just want to, I think I put that in the description of all those videos. College football is my passion, obviously. I mean, I love baseball as well, but if I had to pick a passion, definitely be college football. But there's not a lot to talk about a lot of the time in college football unless you do like top 10, in the offseason in college football, unless you do like top 10 players at each position. I want to make as many videos as I can for college football, even throughout the offseason, and that creates a lot of discussion, especially when I bring in the factor of everybody putting their predictions, and obviously in the comments, and people will be disagreeing with their comments, going back and forth. I don't want really arguments on my channel, but if you want to argue, it's up to you. But I just want to have discussion on my channel and all my videos, and all those videos throughout the offseason, which they generally, like I did the Alabama video last season when their schedule came out, and I think that video ended up getting 5,000 views, which got a pretty good bit of discussion. I don't think I put a prediction thing I did in that video. So with that added into these, I think I should get a good bit of college football discussion on my channel throughout the offseason. And I'm going to do it just really for the top teams. I have a list on my phone. I always keep a bunch of notes on my phone, like and stuff I want to do for my channel. I'm going to tell you what teams I plan on doing the videos for the schedule videos. And if I don't list your team here and you want me to do your college football team, I'll be more than likely to do it. The videos are really easy to make, and I just upload them as filler videos right now, which I should probably make one of these to upload tomorrow morning. Where they take like 10 minutes to make tops. and they're very small video files, so they upload pretty fast. But the teams I have listed are Oregon, Michigan, Texas, Oklahoma, Clemson, Georgia, Florida, Texas A&M, Penn State, Tennessee, South Carolina, USC, and Wisconsin. Those are the teams I'm planning on doing a schedule video for, and if you want me to do your team, just leave a comment, and I'll definitely do it. It's no trouble at all. That's just the teams I really have. I would figure would create the most discussion. But if you want your team, I'll definitely do it. So just leave that in the comments. All right, Matthew Bandusky. Which recruit will be able to make the biggest impact their freshman season? Good question, and let me look at the list real quick of top prospects. These questions are really hard to think off the top of my head. I got to look at the list. Miles Garrett from Texas A&M. I think he'll make a huge impact. I think Deshaun Hand will be solid, but I think make an immediate impact. I think Miles Garrett will be ridiculous at A&M. He's going to be solid, and I don't think I had to look too far for this one. Leonard Fournette from LSU. Don't know why I didn't think about him on top of my head. The guy's going to come in and start day one. He'll be the starter for LSU for 3 straight seasons. Going to be an absolute beast. First team All-American, no doubt in my mind. Jeremy Hill left the NFL last season, and this guy has a perfect opportunity to come in, start right away, and be an absolute beast and be a first-round pick. Yes, a running back first-round pick in 3 years. That's how good I believe he is. An absolute beast, and I believe, like I said, Leonard Fournette. Remember the name. The guy's going to be trouble for SEC teams and whoever else you play for the next 3 seasons. Guys, an absolute beast at running back. Just go turn on this film, and your jaw will completely drop. All right. And next question. I gotta get a better setup. Maybe I can turn my sister's room into a video room, because she doesn't live here anymore. She got married. And probably would have the best lighting in there. Oh well. It's a nice little. It's a nice quick setup to have, but it's definitely not the best quality for you guys. Okay, next question is asked by Win Mulligan. I guess that's how you pronounce it. It says, Roll Tide. Who do you think the starting quarterback will be at Alabama, and why do you think they'll be? Sorry. Let me say that again. Who do you think the starting quarterback will be at Alabama, and why? And do you think that quarterback will be as successful as AJ? I think I've said this before. I believe Jacob Coker will come in and be the starter. I just believe he has the best physical tools. You can ask Phil Savage, who's an NFL scout, a former scout, and now a big executive or something. He's a talent evaluator, and he believes Jacob Coker, from seeing him, is a first-round talent. Many GMs do. So that's solid. I mean, just to have the physical tools to be so. And I think he's going to come in and play very great. I mean, so fitting that he comes in and replaces AJ for the second time. Did once at St. Paul's, and potentially, which I believe will happen at Alabama. He's just very talented, has the size. He's very athletic for his size. He's 6'4". He's a little bit more athletic than AJ. And I think he's just very solid. He challenged Jameis Winston down the stretch for the starting job, so he about beat out potentially the best freshman quarterback in the history of college football, who led his team to a national championship. So I think he comes in and plays solid. Do I think he's going to be as good as AJ? I mean, that's tough to say. Because, I mean, the guy led Alabama to 2 straight national championships, so you think it would be kind of a dishonor to say that, I mean, before a guy even steps on the field. But potentially, I think he could be. I think he's as talented as AJ. We'll just have to see if he can come in and do everything like AJ did, limit his mistakes, and he should be solid. And I think he has the physical tools to be better than AJ, to answer your question. I mean, AJ, I believe, is going to be in a 3rd-round pick. So if this guy's being evaluated as a 1st-round pick and being told that he's a 1st-round pick, I mean, I think you could say that he potentially can be better than AJ. So, potentially, yeah. Alright, next question. Brandon K. If you could call a game with any sports analyst, who would it be? A couple answers here. Most informative, and I believe is the best actual analyst out there, is Kirk Herbstreit. I completely admire him. He's an absolute beast when it comes to sports analysis, an absolute monster. And a good guy, too. I'd pick Kirk Herbstreit to do play-by-play with, and well, I mean, obviously his color. I do play-by-play. Who else? I'd love to do a game of Lee Corso. I know he doesn't call games, but that would be awesome. Lou Holtz would be funny to do it with, even though from what I see online, he's an absolute jerk in person. I kind of like David Pollock. I don't know why a lot of people don't like David Pollock. I think he's a pretty cool guy. He tries his best to be non-biased, even though he's a big Georgia guy. So, and I don't know. He's just, I don't know. I kind of like David Pollock, but Kirk Herbstreit and out of college football, I would really like to do a game with Jerry Remy. He's the color guy for the Boston Red Sox. He's an older guy who's been with the team for forever. Played for Boston, came up through the system. A great guy, funny guy. I'd love to do a game with him as well. So that's my 2 answers there. Sports All Day 09 says, or asked, growing up playing football, what position did you play? I played quarterback. I started at quarterback for a couple years, and then I got hurt and never got to play after that. So, yeah, played quarterback. And if I decide to try to walk on in South Alabama's team, that'd obviously be what I'd be trying to be, even though I'd never play. But, I mean, hey, I could say I was a college quarterback. Nathan Sprock asked, do you think the Seattle Seahawks are going to become a dynasty? What do you think it will take for the Denver Broncos to get back to at least playoff contention for next season? I think Seattle Seahawks, I don't know how really you define a dynasty. I mean, what's the actual term, 3 out of 4 seasons? Could that be the case? I don't believe so, because Seattle's really built their team around the draft and late round draft picks that have really came together and created a very good team with a bunch of players who are some of the best at their positions in the NFL, and they're still on the rookie contracts, which are worth $500,000 a season. Richard Sherman, the best cornerback in football, is making $500,000 a season because of his contract. So when all those players' contracts are up, I mean, no matter how much money you have, the salary cap and everything is limits teams to whatever, and they're not going to have enough money to keep all those guys. I mean, they might not have enough money to keep both Russell Wilson and Richard Sherman. That'd be stretching it. So I think they're going to lose a lot of players because of that and salary, which is sad because, I mean, they all love Seattle, but, I mean, it's a little bit too much. From Richard Sherman can be worth $15 million a year, and he's only making $500,000. So that's going to be tough. Russell Wilson, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, will obviously make a lot. But if they do want to become a dynasty, which I think they can, they have the right coaching staff, they develop their players, so they do a solid job at that. Not saying they're going to dip down and be horrible if they lose all those players. No, I think they're going to stay solid, get some good players at the draft. But to become a dynasty, they have to keep at least a couple of their core players, and they're going to have to draft just as well they have the past couple seasons in the next few years. I mean, I'm not saying finding one of the best cornerback in football in the 5th round. I mean, that's impossible pretty much. But they did it with Richard Sherman, got him in the 5th round. I didn't even know that until I checked a couple months ago. But they got to find some solid starters in the from 4th to 7th rounds in the draft and get some solid starters at the first few rounds definitely. But they just have to draft solid, and if they can do so, find a few starters that end up being pretty good in the NFL in the late rounds, I think they can have a good chance at being a dynasty. Can they compete next season? Definitely. All the players are coming back. They're going to draft in the 1st round, potentially get a couple of starters in the late rounds this season, and pretty much you normally expect the 1st round starter to be pretty solid, and 2nd rounds tends to be starters. So they're just going to add on to what they've had the past couple of seasons because everybody they have on contract is coming back next season. So why can't they repeat next year? That's what I think. I think they'll definitely repeat next year or have a great chance to. I mean, maybe they'll get knocked off because it's so hard to repeat, but they have a great shot, and I believe they'll be right in the thick of things next season. And I think they could obviously, if they bring in everybody back, they're going to get better. I mean, players don't normally digress in their first few seasons, so I think they're just going to get better than they have been. So that is that. Oh, and the Broncos questions. The Broncos lose a lot. They'll probably lose Aqib Talib. Champ Bailey's coming back, but he's aging. They're going to have Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning won with some bad teams before, and as long as he's there, I believe they'll be in playoff contention. Can they go back to the Super Bowl? I don't know. They're going to have to restock on defense, I think. They lose a couple of the receivers are, I believe, Eric Deckers on his final season on his contract, so they're going to have to fiddle with some new offensive players. I think No Marino is going to be a free agent. Like I said, Eric Decker is too, so have to bring in a few guys on the offensive line. On the offense. Offensive line too. They're going to have to draft real well because they don't have all the money in the world, and pick up a few other defensive players. And I think the secondary is going to be the biggest area of concern for Denver. Von Miller will be back, so that'll be big. But I think they'll be in playoff contention no matter what happens. But Super Bowl is another question, and for that to be the case, maybe a better running back than Knowshon Moreno, even though he turned out to be pretty good down the stretch. He finally broke out this season, I guess you could say. They had Monte Ball, so they might not really spend all that money on Knowshon Moreno, because I think Monte Ball starting could be very good. And maybe bring in another big receiver for Peyton Manning. So that is that, and I think they really need to draft some defense and sign a couple of defensive players, maybe a cornerback. So, Aqib Talib might come back, but I don't think he will. So that's that. 2 more questions to go. How long is this? My annual guess at how long I've been recording. 25 minutes. Not too long. Last Friday questions and answers were like over an hour and 15 minutes because I had so many questions. And I always speak. I really got to work on cutting down how much I talk. That's really why a lot of my videos go up end up being so long. All right. Jack Moore, who do you think the best player in NFL free agency? Who do you think the best players in NFL free agency are in the offseason? That's tough. I said Eric Decker's he's probably going to be a free agent. Aqib Talib, that's probably the best corner. Brandon Spikes is probably going to be a free agent as well. Jimmy Graham is more than likely going to be a free agent unless the Saints franchise tag him, which is a possibility even though he doesn't really want to be. So probably that group of players is not necessarily going to be a really heavy free agency, but there'll be a couple of solid players like the ones I named. Nothing too crazy, but it's still solid free agency nonetheless. And last question, Spo Town Twigs asks, I'll be impressed if you know this. What is the president on the $2, $10, and $20 bills just for kicks? Let me think about that. On the $2 bill, it is, let me think about this. That's a tough question. I'm trying to think. Number 2, I would say probably Thomas Jefferson. I think it's Thomas Jefferson is on the $2 bill. So I think I'll end up with that answer, Thomas Jefferson. And the $10 bill, Alexander Hamilton is on the $10 bill. And the $20 bill, that is... How can I not know in the $20 bill? $20 bill is definitely President Andrew Jackson. So that was a really easy question. Thomas Jefferson, Alexander Hamilton, and Andrew Jackson. That was the easiest question. So I don't know why you didn't think I was going to get that. So that'll end my Friday questions and answers, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure, as always, to leave a question in the comment section below for episode 52, which will hopefully be on next Friday. It should be, because I don't have a game next Friday to broadcast, so unless anything crazy happens, I know it is Valentine's Day, but regardless, I should have it done and recorded for Friday. So, I'll catch you guys next Friday. Like I said, leave a question in the comment section below. As always, can be about anything sports related in my life. Any question you want to ask, I will answer most definitely next Friday at the latest Saturday. So, I'll catch you guys then. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/S3RTR. All those links are in the description, so check them out. I'll catch you guys next time, and as always, peace.